Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back, and I'm on vacation right now, so I have a little hotel gym here. But I got this email. That was a question I got from people who actually just got back from vacation, and they were asking, what are some ways I can motivate myself to get back into the gym, get back into training, like in UA High, something like that, right? And one of the easiest things I always tell people is to do a circuit. So for example, if you don't know what circuit training is, it's where you do 2 exercises back to back or 3 or 4, and you like do them in a superset fashion where you go one after the other, one after the other. And I really love doing those type of workouts because not only does it boost your heart rate and get you sweating, but you're also like getting a gain feeling too, especially if you're looking in the mirror or something like that, where you see the pump happening, you see yourself getting these results. And it's a quick way to get back into things if you feel overwhelmed. Because like one of the things I saw from people was they always tell me, hey, I feel like I can't get back into training right after vacation. I had a good time and now I have to go back training 5 days a week. Because some people are different beasts. Some people love to train. Some people feel antsy if they can't train, where they're just like, oh God, I have to go work out, I have to do this. Like I'm a person who has like horrible like anxiety and other mental health issues. I've talked about my mental health playlist and stuff like that, where like if I don't have like this outlet, I notice I get like a lot more anxious and I feel like panicky. So sometimes you don't want to be doing like an hour workout or something like that, an entire hour of just training. So what I like to do is just go and do a circuit. So I'll take like 5 or 6 exercises and then I'll do them in like rounds. So it'd be like, let's say I do push-ups and then pull-ups and then dumbbell curls and then dumbbell rows and then probably a crunch or something like that, or like a squat or something like that, depending on what I'm feeling like. And what that does is it helps me just get into the flow of things. It helps me build up that neural pathway in the brain, because we've talked about this before. Neural pathways are the things that allow you to stay consistent. So if you're not consistent, it's probably your neural pathways that are like, they're not built up. Because like what happens is when you do something consistently, you build up these neural pathways. They just build, they build. And then like you get to a point where you want to do the thing that you've been working towards. Like you enjoy doing it. Like fitness or where fitness or workouts don't feel like a chore to you, because you were just like, you've built up so many neural pathways. What happens when we go on vacation is sometimes we can't work out like we're doing, where we're regimented and doing all that stuff, or we don't have the equipment, or we don't have something to do. So we like sometimes fall. But the great thing is you get a ton of list cardio in. So get those steps in. Like I legit, every time I go on vacation, it makes me excited, not just for like being on vacation and relaxing, but the fact that I'm just going to get so many steps than if I was just home. Like usually on vacation, I get like 20,000 steps a day easy. But if I'm home, that becomes a lot more of a chore to like, I have to go out and, do this sort of thing. Like it's just like, it takes a long time. But here you're just exploring new areas. You're with friends, you're doing all this stuff. You're walking around. Like I'm at a convention right now. So it's just like, you're walking around constantly. Like I'm about to go to the vendor hall literally after this. And it's super fun. It's super fun just to be active with people you love and like, or people you want to be around. But when you're by yourself, sometimes it becomes a bit more of a chore. Like, oh, I have to walk an hour on this treadmill, or I have to walk like 3 times a day. And depending on who you are, some people enjoy that. Some people, it takes a bit to get back in the rut. But like the reason I suggest doing circuits is just because it helps you stay consistent, and it's fast, it's easy, and it'll help spark that thing again. They can be 10 to 20 minutes. Like that's literally it. They can be 10 to 20 minutes. Or like I, as a matter of fact, have a ton of follow-alongs on this channel. So for example, I have a push-up follow-along, I have a burpee follow-along, and I have a pull-up follow-along. So if you wanted to, you could just like watch those, like choose which one you wanted and do it. And then like Monday do push-ups, Tuesday do pull-ups, Wednesday do burpees, and then just like repeat that like is like a cycle. Like probably like give yourself every other day if you want to do it. But like that's the cool thing about like those type of workouts is it's back to back to back, so your heart rate's going up. And like compared to a standard strength training workout, a standard strength training workout, while I love them, like if you come back from a long vacay and you see like I have to do this many sets of this one exercise, then follow this exercise, and you just see it all laid out, it can be kind of like, oh, man, like when your neural pathways aren't built up, it's just like, dude, I really don't feel like doing this today. Like I just wish I was on vacation again. And so like doing that thing it helps tremendously. Like, there are actually like so many follow alongs on YouTube, but as a matter of fact, I actually designed an entire follow along, and I'm not saying this because there are literally thousands out there. I literally just said you can go on my YouTube and look at the free ones that I have on my channel. But like, I'm just saying, like, for people out there who are curious, I also have a follow along for just body weight. Like, I designed that if you're just trapped in a hotel room, or like trapped in a place where you have zero equipment whatsoever, that will get you results. I did that. But I also have a program called Dumbbells We Should Lift, where you are literally just doing dumbbell workouts with a calendar, meal plans, all that stuff. They're both linked in the description box down below if you're interested. But again, I have tons of free stuff on my channel, just putting it out there for people who just like I feel like that would help. I'm just saying that too. But like, there are also tons on like YouTube. I'm just putting that out there for a lot of people. But I actually want to say this quickly. I would recommend starting with dumbbells before going straight to calisthenics if you feel like it's lacking, because dumbbells are a faster accomplishment. And I'm not talking about like my workout plan, like you can check that out too, but it's like, I'm talking about like just dumbbells in general, like these right here. I recommend using something like that and then doing that to build up, because what it does is dumbbells are easier to use in calisthenics. That doesn't mean they can't be more challenging. It just means they're easier. Like if you do a push-up and a pull-up, like, as a lot of people don't think much of them when you get super fit, but like those are more advanced for like people who are beginners or people who are just trying to get back into it. Like, I've seen bodybuilders barely do like 30 push-ups after a vacation just because like they're just like, I'm just not feeling it, and like it's just it's a different strength. It's a different type of strength, like relative strength. I talked about that all in a video I did right there. But the entire thing with doing calisthenics is, like I've mentioned it before, like a push-up will always be more challenging than a bench press, because a bench press can literally be the lightest weight possible and you're just lying down benching. That's a bench press. But then when you get more advanced and you start getting into like 50s, and sadly this only goes up to 50s, but you know what can you do as a hotel gym, it becomes a lot more it like starts to even out a bit. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm doing 100-pound dumbbell presses, so it sort of like goes, oh yeah, well, I prefer to do those over push-ups. But in the beginning it's just like push-ups. Like, for example, pull-up, right? I always mention this, pull-ups are more challenging than pull-downs, but then like you can do more with, like, you can add resistance to them, make them even more challenging, but you also like add a ton of resistance to do pull-downs. Also, a little fun fact, for a lot of my bodybuilder friends have said this, but like pull downs are better for hypertrophy in the back. That just means building back muscles, versus pull-ups, just because like you can really focus on the squeeze and tension without just trying to like get yourself up there. So that's just a little pro tip out there. Pull-ups are still great, and I think pull-ups are like the GOAT at like just back development and strength, but that's just a little pro tip I picked up from bodybuilder friends of mine who said that, and I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So I'll keep that in mind. And like I said before, like, shoulder press. Everyone can do dumbbell shoulder press with the lightest weight possible. Not everyone can do a handstand push-up or pike push-up or something like that. But the point I'm making with this video is it does not have to be so like, oh, I can't get back into working out. You most definitely can. Just start off like 10, 15-minute circuits. Try those things I mentioned on my channel. Like, if you want to try out my programs in the description box down below, there should be one in the pinned comment. I actually have a sale on my app right now if you want to check that out. But it's like, it's different. Again, all the stuff is free. Like, I have tons of stuff like the tunes as well, which are just like, if you put them on, you can do a follow along with them too. So try that out for yourself. Just putting it in. I'm going to go take a shower because I just finished this work, and I'm going to go to the con and hang out with some friends. But I just wanted to say that to people out there, for people who think like you can't work out on vacation, or they feel like it's just too daunting a task, or they just can't get the mindset into it. So, 15, 20 minutes, dumbbell workouts. Doesn't have to be super heavy or intense. Circuit training is great for building up cardiovascular endurance and muscular endurance, but also building muscle as well. That's a thing a lot of people don't realize. Don't do it like I'm not trying to diss on like CrossFit or stuff like that, but like, do it like a dumbbell complex where you choose a light to moderate weight where you don't injure yourself, and then keep the rest times between like 30 to 45 seconds or a minute, and then like get them done, and then you'll start sweating, you'll start breathing harder, but of course stay safe. That's what I care about most, is that y'all stay safe, because that's the important thing. Like, it's bodybuilding, not body destroying. And yeah, that you'll get after it. Okay, but I'm gonna go to the hangout of the con. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, moment tai. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And to people out there, you can always get your train on. Just try it bit various ways. All right, peace.